My name is Paul Martin and I'm one of the careers advisors at Uclan. This presentation is looking at the choices and decisions you need to make after your degree, and key to this is having an understanding of the labour market in the UK. In this slide you will see a picture of the Uclan career staff, which hopefully you'll have a chance to meet, and as I'll explain, careers provides a lot of support for you throughout your career. The aims of this presentation is to give you an up-to-date overview of the UK graduate market, to increase your understanding of how you can improve your chances of getting a job in a competitive job market, and to make you aware of the career resources and career aids that can help you in job hunting. The graph in front of you points out the earnings of students. So the top line is what graduates would earn. The yellow line, which is the second line down, is apprentices. The dark blue line below that is A-levels, and the line below that is GCSEs. So basically what this is illustrating is that graduates will earn far more than A-level students or GCSE students, and over a lifetime graduates earn a lot more money than either of the two other groups. Popular question with a lot of students I see is they'll ask me, what can I do with my degree? What are the outcomes? So the latest figures, which are from June 20 from Department of Employment, is 70% of people left 2017 to 2018 are in employment, which is higher than GCSEs or higher than A-level students. 19% postgrad, which is the highest ever and probably will increase next year as more people do postgraduate study to wait for the COVID crisis to decline. 6% travelled, which is year out, but unfortunately I think as an option that's going to decline over the next couple of years because it isn't going to be very easy to travel unless we come up with a vaccine, and a lot of travel companies, unfortunately, that provide support for this area are no longer with us. 4% unemployed, which is quite a low figure, and a lot lower obviously than the GCSE and A-level students. And 1% did voluntary work. Probably more people do voluntary work in the future, particularly, as I say, next year. Most people will be aware of how the pandemic has affected the graduate labour market this year, and obviously will affect it for the next couple of years. Unfortunately, the worst affected areas are sort of the creative arts sector, music performance, music, TV, film. Retail, we've seen all the news stories about redundancy and closing of stores. Hospitality, travel and aviation, which are going to be difficult areas for the next couple of years to find employment in. However, there are other areas that have done okay. So the health sector has expanded and will probably continue to expand, the science side as well. Online and digital degrees is obviously a massive growth and going to be an area of continued growth. Social care had a problem for many years and probably going to be more difficult now because, as I say, from the end of this year, when we leave the EU, it'll become more problematic to get staff. Another growth area is IT, which is understandable, and finance and consultancy have done quite well during this period, particularly in the London area. Many students ask the question, what can I do with my degree? And a good starting point for this is to go on the Prospects website, and on the Prospects website there's a page called What I Can Do with a Degree, and what I use as an example is biomedical science here, and it gives you a list of the options, which is really, really good, but it also gives you an idea of other alternative careers as well. So again, about widening your awareness, which I think is really important at the moment to do that. Another thing people always ask is, okay, I want to stay in the Northwest, a lot of our students want to. Where do most people get their jobs? Top area, which probably surprises nobody, is nursing. Marketing has always been very high for a long, long time. Medicine, dentistry, veterinary science, again, very high. Primary teaching, again, there are lots of opportunities in that. Business professions. Software developers, finance. Recruitment's an interesting area, and a lot of people are probably not aware of that, but a lot of graduates do start in recruitment as a very good starting area. Accountancy traditionally always recruited a lot of people. Web development is obviously an area that's done very well over the last few years. The legal side has always been there. Graphic designers, again, will probably surprise people, but there are lots of graphic designers. opportunities. Social work is a shortage area, as is secondary teaching, and an area that's quite interesting, again, because we're quite interested in people looking at alternative ideas, is welfare and housing. And again, not many people I see express interest in that, but there are opportunities in that. So anybody's been watching the current programme about development in Manchester on the BBC will have seen an insight into what a housing officer does, which may interest some people. For a long time, the UK has had a skills shortages in a number of areas. So this slide is actually from pre-COVID, but will be even more severe now. So areas there are shortages in, have been for a while: business analysts, surveyors, project management, cybersecurity, SEO, software developers. We talked about teachers, we talked about social workers, and obviously some areas of engineering as well. Aviation probably isn't that in that list now. One of the things careers advisors encourage people to do is look at different sectors. So sometimes people would work. So for instance, the top one in this one is the health profession, where 22% in the Northwest work in there, but not everybody works in the health sector as a scientist or a health worker. There will be administration roles and maybe marketing roles, maybe some creative roles. So again, it is worth looking at other areas as well. And as I say, looking at all the industrial groups to look at different things where there might be possibilities. So for instance, it may be, I don't know, you're a graphic designer or a filmmaker, and you just think of the creative sector, but there may be opportunities in the science side, or there might be things in the health side, opportunities in that. And again, in IT and web design, social media, many sectors, so looking at these different industrial sectors, will recruit their own workers to do this rather than recruiting somebody from an agency. So again, it's worth looking at things like this. This slide I think is interesting. It's from Target, which is a very good website. It talks about, again, the different sectors, which are keen to get people to look at different sectors as well. Prospects also does something similar to this. So again, worth looking at both of those as well. Question which I was asked the other day, actually: do I have to go to London? As soon as I spoke to, 33% of jobs the last survey were in London, and you would think probably there are more opportunities there. Fortunately, the Northwest is 11%, so it's the best region outside there. But with the sort of pandemic and more people working from home, there is probably the likelihood that some jobs will move away from the southeast. You don't need to be maybe in the southeast anymore. So there may be opportunities, jobs moving up to the north, to probably regional cities, Manchester, Liverpool, things like that. And again, the government has said they're going to try and encourage more companies to move up to the north. And there is a possibility, like for instance, they were talking about moving some government office up to York, which again is very, very good for our students. One of the aspects of home working, which I want people to look at, I won't discuss now, but it's something you can look at, is there are pros and cons of home working. Some people love it, some people don't. And it's something I think it's worth discussing, because I think it has implications for graduates, but that's for you maybe to look at in your own time. Another area, because jobs change all the time, is, so for instance, social media jobs wouldn't have existed 10 years ago. Now they are, and I've come up with a list of 5 jobs there, which could be worth looking at, and maybe somebody watching this now will be doing that in the future. So these are areas that will develop. My tips to improve your job hunting: first of all, start thinking about what you want to do as soon as possible. Don't leave it to when you graduate, and you need backup ideas now. You need to engage both physical online activities at university and outside. Employers are looking for evidence of teamwork, etc. Again, if you get experience, part-time jobs onto it, that gives you some examples. You need to work out what you want to do and have a second choice. We talked about mobility, and even with home working, you can't just get a job in your own time. You need to be able to travel. And again, networking is really important. Making contacts, creating an impression. You need to develop your unique selling points. What are your strengths? Try and match them up to what employers are looking for. And one of the things you need to be looking for as well is new opportunities during the pandemic. So using social medias to keep an eye on abreast of changes. So you may see something on the news saying, there's some opportunities there. So it's really important to keep with that, and obviously social media. I mentioned before the resources of prospects and target. There will be some PowerPoint slides with this as well, which you'll be able to get on the Career Edge website. Talking the Career Edge website, which brings us to that. This is a very useful page, Career Edge, and this is the starting page. And there's lots of opportunities. It talks about all the things we've got on there, so webinars, job search, CV, etc. But I won't go through all of them. We offer 20-minute mini appointments, CV to cover CV, LinkedIn profiles, job searches, and work experience. We offer also 45-minute appointments as well, where you see careers that are more online at the moment. Careers that talk about career planning, exploring your options, applications, mock interviews, careers confidence, building your confidence up. Again, we've got school pages, which you can find out. Our presentations are on there, find out more about who your careers officer is, which is important. And we've run over the last few months a lot of webinars that are now available on the Career Edge facility. So again, they're worth looking at. They're all quite short, so probably about 10 minutes. And then finally, the last slide. If you want to contact us, the number is there and the email's there. And then, as I say, all our online stuff is there. So if you need any help whatsoever, please contact us and get in touch. And thank you for listening.